What's going on, Guardians? My name is Excalion, and in today's video, I'm going to first off start by asking you to forgive me for still getting over this Rona thing. My voice is still a little bit off, but we are getting better. So yeah, that's a little bit of good news. Just don't mind my voice, please, for the love of God. Today's video, we are going to be talking about 2 Adept Sniper rifles that are in this season's sandbox that you can get as potential rewards. One for going flawless in trials, and one for completing Grandmaster Nightfalls. And those weapons are the Eye of Soul Adept and the Uzume Rr4 Adept. Now, there is technically a third, if you want to consider the Master Vault of Glass Sniper Rifle, the Praetor's Revenge Time Lost. It works as an Adept weapon, ability to slot Adept mods, and the enhanced stats whenever it's Masterwork. So that is technically another one, but I don't really want to include it in this category because it's just not really on the same playing field as the other two. The other two being adaptive frame snipers. They really are just a better fit inside of this sandbox. And mind you, I do come from a general PvP perspective whenever I'm talking about weapons. In today's video, we'll talk a little bit about PvE effectiveness, and I'm just going to start by saying that the Uzume Rr4 Adept is a better PvE weapon than even the Time Lost Praetor's Revenge, so it's not really necessary to include it in this video, and not to mention, I don't even have one yet, so wouldn't really do me any good. Now, the weapons we are talking about today, the Eye of Soul Adept from Trials of Osiris that you can get for going flawless, and it's an outstanding sniper. It's been in the sandbox for a little while now, and it has some great perk options, and it's got some pretty good all-around stats. It is a 90 RPM adaptive frame sniper with an impact of 70, a range of 55, a stability of 54, a handling of 51, and a reload speed of 46. Its hidden stats are an aim assistance of 68 with a zoom of 45 and a recoil of 72, tending left. Its perks, I'm not going to go over barrels or rounds. Those are all pretty much a dime a dozen. I'll go over the first perk column: firmly planted, moving target, killing wind, surplus, no distractions, tunnel vision, and ensemble. And the second perk column, you have Vorpal Weapon, Celerity, Opening Shot, Snapshot, High Impact Reserves, Wellspring, and Rangefinder. Now, it is important to note that an Adept version of the Eye of Soul is going to come with Celerity as a possible option on all of your Adept rolls in that second perk column. So, not really going to go over that, not really going to pick that. The other options you have are all okay options. No distractions is pretty good in the sandbox as it helps with the flinch on snipers. If you don't know, back whenever Beyond Light came out, they fixed up snipers to where they receive more flinch whenever you're shooting with them, so you can never really go wrong with no distractions. Tunnel vision's okay. Ensemble, not really good. That's the only thing that I wouldn't want. Surplus is great. We all know that Surplus gives a nice handling and stability boost. Killing Wind, Moving Target, and Firmly Planted are your best options, and I would prefer to go with Killing Wind or Moving Target myself. Moving Target does give you that better strafe speed while you are aiming, which is great for snipers, and Killing Wind on Adored is a fantastic perk, and this can roll with the same overall roll as Adored with Killing Wind and Snapshot. Now, once upon a time, this gun could roll Opening Shot and Snapshot, as those were both in separate columns, but Bungie decided that we can't have fun anymore, so they took it out. Well, no, you can still get Opening Shot. You can't get the perfect combination of both. So the roll that I have here today is Killing Wind and Snapshot sights, just like Adored, and this thing is amazing. I think what makes this amazing is that 45 zoom scope. It doesn't zoom in too much, it's got a beautiful reticle, and it just feels super, super snappy. And being able to click off of heads is super easy, especially with Killing Wind procced. Now, looking at the Uzume Rr4 Adept, this is another 90 RPM adaptive frame sniper with an impact of 70, a range of 64, a stability of 53, a handling of 51, and a reload speed of 50. The hidden stats are an aim assistance of 67 with a zoom of 50 and a recoil direction of 75, which is vertical. Again, not going over barrels or magazine options. In the first column, you can get triple tap, clown cartridge, snapshot sights, killing wind, bottomless grief, or lead from gold. In the second column, you can get explosive payload, vorpal weapon, high impact reserves, demolitionist, adrenaline junkie, and dragonfly. And again, noting just like celerity on Trials of Osiris weapons, the Nightfall weapons can roll with bottomless grief in that first perk column that's interchangeable with whatever else is there. And the roll that I have here today that I'm using is going to be Snapshot Sights and Vorpal Weapon, which is probably the best PvP roll that you can get on this sniper platform, and that's pretty good. You know, again, you can get Killing Wind on this, but you're going to have to give up Snapshot. And I think that this gun absolutely requires Snapshot on it. You can get a combination of Killing Wind and Explosive Payload, or Killing Wind and Vorpal Weapon, and that's still going to be pretty good. You're going to get some extra flinch with Explosive Payload. But I do believe that this is a good, clear-cut case of Bungie making a weapon that is better in PvE than it is in PvP, and Eye of Soul being better in PvP than it is in PvE. Eye of Soul's okay, like it's got some options. Like I have an original Eye of Soul that was like one of the original Adept ones whenever they were first available, that's got Outlaw and Vorpal, and that's probably the best option for PvE for that weapon. But it's just not as effective as like this here. And the role that I have for PvP or for PvE for the Uzume is triple tap and Vorpal. And that's great because that's a weapon that's constantly returning ammo to the magazine. It's got Vorpal, so it's doing more damage to bosses, and I can put the Adept Big One spec on it, which is going to do more damage to bosses and majors. So that's really a better option for PvE and in-game content, whereas Eye of Soul is just flat out the better option for PvP. And I think that shows, again, with the zoom level of the snipers. Like the 45 zoom on Eye of Soul really does make it not as, I'll say, telescopic as the 50 zoom on the Uzume. And it took me a while to get used to the recoil and to the pattern of the Uzume and the way it shot, but once I figured it out, it was okay. I slapped a targeting adjuster on there to get some extra aim assist, and you know, we were off to the races. You can put Adept Icarus on it, which if you don't know, gives you the good inner accuracy while also giving you a +5 to your range, so that really is a great option. I just don't really like doing jump sniping on snipers in Destiny unless you have one that's got super good accuracy, like potentially like the Shepherd's Watch or something like that, but these aren't like that, and I think that they do that on purpose. They don't really want these snipers to exist like that. So in wrapping up, what is my verdict on these sniper platforms in Destiny 2, and again, it's very simple. Eye of Soul, Trials of Osiris, better for PvP. Uzume Rr4 you get from GMs is better for PvE. And I mean, they're interchangeable, right? You can use either for either. It doesn't really matter. But if you want to get specific, these are honestly where you should be using them. And don't get me wrong, this isn't, again, saying that there's not other snipers out there that you can't use that are going to give you great bonuses. Like, again, the Occluded Finality. This thing's got a massive telescopic zoom of 58 on this thing. There's no other sniper available in the sandbox right now with random rolls that has a higher zoom. There's just not. And for some reason, I play really well with it. You know, maybe it's because it's got opening shot. I don't know. But I racked up 400 kills on that thing in, you know, a couple of weeks after getting it. Like, it's just really good. But I think if I'm going into Trials of Osiris and playing competitively, I'm probably going to take Eye of Soul with me, just because, and that also allows me to pair it with a palindrome or, you know, something like that. Now, that being said, if I'm using Messenger and I still need something to reach somebody a really long ways away, then, you know, maybe I'll put on the Uzume. I might, but I'll probably stick with the Occluded Finality in that case. But I digress. That's up to you, to each their own. This is just my 10 cents on these snipers in this sandbox right now, and, you know, it is what it is. So you guys let me know what you think. Is there one that you prefer? Do you have an Adept Eye of Soul or an Adept Uzume? I know people on Twitter trying to farm for a Snapshot Vorpal roll in the Uzume. This was the first one that I got, and that's not me trying to brag or try to flex. I'm just being real. Like, I was very fortunate. The thing is not the easiest thing in the world to get a PvP roll on. So the Eye of Soul, though, not bad, and it'll probably be available again here very soon. So let me know what you think, guys. Thanks for liking and commenting. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, Godspeed, my friends.